Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. My name's Chris, and today we're going to talk about dating in 2021. I actually have some really good perspective for you guys for this show, and I've talked about this topic a couple times before, and it's gotten a lot of attention and feedback. I'm going to give you guys some perspective from me, and I'm also going to talk to the ladies about some things that could really help you guys attract a proper male for you into your life. Before we talk about that, all I ask is for you to hit the like button. Smash that like button so other people on YouTube can see this video, allowing YouTube to push this out to others who might want some perspective on male and female energies specifically in dating in 2021. So smash that like button and hit subscribe if you like my message. Okay, guys, let's talk about dating in 2021. Let me tell you something. Dating in 2021 is certainly interesting. And I think the biggest reason why it's interesting is because most of us just went through COVID lockdowns over the past year, and personal interaction face to face has been a little scarce. And for a guy like me who likes to interact in person, it definitely hindered my game a little bit. But let's paint the picture here. All right, let's paint the picture. In roughly about April of 2020, if you recall, that was right smack in the middle of lockdowns of 2020 for COVID, I became single. And it was a little bit of a complicated situation given lockdowns, but I've been single for approximately a year. And that relationship that I had was about a year and a half long, which I got out of in about April of 2020. And this is a really good point to talk about something that I think a lot of people fail to do. And it's because I notice like traits as I date women. And what I'm talking about is the last time I was single, which in the introduction of the show, I actually said it was wrong. I said it was in 19. I talked about this topic last. It was in 18. I talked about this topic last. So it was the first season of my podcast, the CW Clinic. And the point that I'm getting at here is, and what I want you guys to understand is, after that relationship in 2018 and after my relationship in 2020, I did something that I really feel is forgotten about and is not done often at all. How do I know this? It's because I encounter women, I talk to men, I see people's traits on display as they talk. And what I'm talking about is what I did after my most recent relationship and the one prior to that was I took time to heal. Okay? So let's use the relationship from 2020 that ended as an example. The relationship ended in roughly the spring, early summer time frame of 2020, and I didn't start dating, quote unquote, until like winter or fall. Somewhere along the lines, I can't pinpoint it. It was cold weather, okay, before I started even entertaining the thought of someone else, okay? And in between that time, I was alone. And I'm still alone. I've been single, but alone to the point that I wasn't speaking to anyone, I wasn't seeing anyone, and I wasn't dating anyone, all right? For those of you that have listened to these shows before know that I'm very big and very believing in self-healing, in personal development, and primarily self-awareness. I have a morning routine that I practice, and there's a lot of time to focus in on yourself and where you might be lacking while you do your morning routines. And that time in between becoming single and starting to date again, I focused really in very far in on what I was told in the end of my relationship and things that I thought I could do better with myself. And in these times, you have to take the time to heal. Okay, so let's just use an example. Um, the first person I started dating when I decided to put myself back out onto the market, quote unquote, had recently just been in like a 10 plus year marriage and had only been separated from that marriage within a year. That was a red flag to begin with for me because this person wasn't, in my opinion, spiritually aware and didn't take time to heal. So I was very hesitant because I knew that likely the baggage and or trauma from that relationship would be projected into ours, or me being held responsible for what the male in her life did prior. Okay? So the point that I'm getting at is, and we're going to unpack the healing process a little bit, but when you end a relationship, especially if it's over 6 months or a year, you need to take time to heal and reflect on how you can be a better partner in the future. I took a while, several months, before I even decided to talk to someone else. And it's really, really important that you guys understand that it's okay to be alone and it's okay to heal. Actually, you need to heal. Because if you don't heal, you're going to take all of the problems from your past relationship and bring them right into your new relationship that you jump right into because you're codependent, needy, and need someone in your life. We'll talk about codependency and being needy further along in the show. However, understand that it's not fair to the new partner that you do that. And it's actually incredibly selfish. When we learn to use our mistakes as lessons, we learn new skills. So understand that time to heal is a good thing. And not healing is actually not only selfish to you, but it's like selfish action to you, but it's also incredibly selfish to your new partner because honestly, anyone that is slightly understanding of human psychology will see right through it and just kick you right to the curb. Not physically. But those that can't see through it, you're going to torture them. And it's selfish and it's manipulative. And it's toxic and potentially abusive. So now that I have that out of the way, all right, take time to heal. So, I don't know, something like 4 to 6 months goes by. I deem that I'm ready. And things changed. That was at the end of 20. You know, here in Connecticut where I am, things were still very shut down. So I'm the type of guy that I don't really go to I don't go to nightclubs. I don't go to bars, but I like to go to fine dining and I like to have a drink or two. And, I'm at that point in life where if I'm going to meet someone, they need to be complimentary of my life. So, I'm not going to the dive bar and meeting a local drunk, okay? I'm in fine dining establishments and I want to meet someone that can complement my life. I am very confident and I'll walk right up to a female that gives me the opening to do so. And gentlemen, and actually this is applicable to ladies too, let's just quickly unpack that, okay? Getting the opening to go up to someone is critical, okay? So guys, if you're just walking up to women that don't give you the opening, you're gonna get shot down, most likely. And if they don't shoot you down, they just feel bad for you and they're just gonna take that drink that you're gonna buy them because that's your move. and then they're just going to kind of like give you some excuse that they have to go to the bathroom or they're meeting their friends and just going to leave you where you are. Okay. So when I say get the opening, all right, when I'm out in person, I'll catch the opening of eye contact and smiles and maybe a playful tongue being stuck out or a wave or something. That's an opening, gentlemen. That's an opening. And that's the female saying, hi, you are visually interesting. I would like to speak to you. If a female is hiding her face, not making eye contact with you, she doesn't want to talk to you. And ladies, vice versa, okay? Vice versa. Same with the guys. This ability of mine wasn't so for the majority of my life, but in my late 20s and my early 30s, I became very confident in myself and I was able to do these things. I'm going to explain it more a little bit later in the show because as I came back into the dating scene in late 20, there wasn't any of that because everyone was afraid of COVID and so on and so forth. And everyone's faces were covered and you couldn't really walk up to people, let alone go to restaurants because they closed at like 8 o'clock at night. And it was just weird. So I found myself on dating apps. And to be perfectly transparent, I'm still on them. And I'm going to explain those a little bit because I think it's important that we understand the dating apps. And the dating apps that I use are Hinge, which you actually have to pay for, which I prefer because it's people that are generally a little bit more serious than not, and Bumble. All right, those are the two apps that I have and have had. I don't play with Tinder or any of that garbage. You have to understand you're putting yourself in environments, guys. Just like I'm talking about, I put myself in like high-end fine dining establishments because that's where I want to be around like-minded people. When it comes to apps, like if you're on Tinder or something along those lines of very casual, like that's what you're going to attract is that. So here is my perspective on dating apps in 2021 specifically, okay? This is really something intriguing that you should understand, especially if you're on them, okay? So first things first, I'm the type of guy on a dating app that I don't swipe, okay? I literally don't have the excess time to be on my phone swiping. But what I do is leave the profile up. And when I leave the profile up, other people will see it and swipe on it. I know if people are swiping on me because I pay to have that ability so I can sift through who I want to match with. When I open it up, I look at the queue. If there's people that I'm interested in, I'll match on them. If I match on them, you have to understand that, like specifically guys, okay? If you're a busy individual, all right, and you have your time allocated elsewhere, you're not swiping on women, okay? And women, if you're busy and you have everything going on and you have kids and you have a business or you have a demanding job, you're not swiping on guys. Let the guys come to you. And gentlemen, if you're serious about these things and you want to only deal with women that are highly attracted to you, okay? So if, in my case, if I have a queue of people that have swiped on me, I know they're at least initially attracted to me. So I'm allocating less energy by swiping on them, and I know that they're interested. So if I swipe on them, the chances of us communicating are going to be much higher, all right? So understand the difference between being like someone being attracted to you from the start and not, okay? Gentlemen, specifically, only deal with women that are attracted to you. Stop chasing women that are not. You're wasting your time, you're wasting your energy, and potentially your money. So what I do is, all right, my style is, if I swipe on them, I might exchange a message or two. Maybe a message. Usually I just say something nice. I'd love to hear from you. Here's my number. Call me. All right. Say 20 people match with me a month. I might get 1 to 3 of them that are confident enough to actually reach out to me. Okay. Understand that in my profiles and in life, I'm very aware of what I want, and it says on my profiles what I want, right? I only want a confident female. I don't want some needy, codependent, time consuming female that's not confident enough to call me or text me when I send her my number. So that weeds the majority of the ladies right out. Perfect. I don't want to deal with them. They're not confident. But you get a couple good matches that way. So they're not out of the gate yet when they contact me. Most of the time I get a text message, which is great. I immediately go to set up a phone call, all right? Because I need to be able to speak to this person to see if I even am interested. And a lot of times I suggest a video call because, no offense, women, and I'm sure guys do it too, you guys know your angles and you make your bodies look different. I want to see what I'm talking to, and because I've been catfished, as I'm sure you have. And we set up a phone call or a video chat, and we don't spend a lot of time. I spend maybe 10, 15 minutes talking to them. If I get a good vibe from them, it's like an interview process, I'll ask to have a date and meet them. And 9.9 times out of 10, they agree. And long story short, then we go from there. Okay. And we're going to talk more about going from there, but that's how I utilize apps. And if you guys that are listening are busy and have a lot on your plate, I would also recommend you use the apps that way. If you're not busy and you have all the time in the world, like, cool, do whatever you want to do. But a guy like me is offering my perspective to you because of my lifestyle, which I'm also going to explain more. All right. The next thing we're going to talk about after apps is things that I've noticed specifically in 2021. Okay. This is what I've noticed, and I'm using females as the example because that's who I'm dating. All right. And this isn't all, but these are some very common things that I'm seeing and dealing with that I offer my perspective as a masculine male to you women specifically, and probably some guys are going to agree with me on this. Listen, ladies, okay? Here's the number one thing that's weeding you out of the life of a guy like me, all right? Your neediness and constant need of attention, okay? And I say that because I'm the type of dude that on the first date, right, I will set my boundaries very subtly, yet direct, and be like, yeah, I own 4 companies. I'm very busy, okay? I'm not going to text you all day, all right? I'm not going to text you all day. If, and I don't say this, but if I even decide I want to see them again. But being clear up front in the beginning of dating someone, whether it's the first date or the 5th date or whatever, hey, I'm super busy, all right? I'm going to make time for you in person, all right? I'm not going to be texting you all day long. Those are called boundaries, all right? And you have to hold yourself to those boundaries. However, what ends up happening is, right, and it's good because you know that the other person is attracted to you, but the female will chase the male by texting them and calling them because the male isn't up their ass, or in my opinion, in my case, I'm not up their ass. So that said, right, I'm not like cold-hearted, but if I'm out with someone and I like it, guys, don't ask them on the date right there and then. That's a sign of neediness. Let a couple of days go by, see how you feel, and then contact them if you want to see them again. And that's the pattern to use if you're busy, all right? And if you use that pattern, if you're busy, whether you're male or female, you will weed out the needy. Like, it's cool to be able to have the opposite sex, like, text you and call you and, like, so on and so forth. And from an energy standpoint, a masculine male, when a feminine female is reaching out to you, she wants to feel your energy and presence. Like, that's cool. But ladies, when you go overboard and start double and triple texting before even a response, or complaining that you're not, the male, me, is not texting them enough or calling them enough, and I've been out on like 3 dates with you, you're literally pushing a male like me away, okay? Because neediness and constant attention is a sign of codependency and insecurities. A dude like me knows how to fix your codependency and insecurities. However, I'm not in a relationship to fix you. If we're in a relationship, we're complementing each other's lives, which we're going to talk about a little bit more. Another thing that I find very common is, ladies, your lack of boundaries. First things first, have boundaries for yourself. Have boundaries that you hold yourself to. Then understand what your boundaries are and explain them to your partner or potential partner. For instance, here's a boundary that I tell people all the time, okay? After 9 o'clock at night and before 7 o'clock in the morning, I do not talk to other humans. Not because I don't want to talk to you, it's because I'm sleeping and doing my morning routine. By 7 o'clock in the morning, I'm out of the house and I talk to other humans. But I have to hold myself to those boundaries to be able to hold others to the boundaries. And of course, I'll make exceptions here or there and, respond to someone's text early in the morning because it's very important. However, 9.9 times out of 10, you have to hold yourself to your boundaries and then be able to articulate your boundaries to others, and then you have to hold those boundaries from the others, okay? Lack of boundaries, ladies, lack of boundaries. Have some boundaries. It's hot. It's attractive. I want to know what your boundaries are. Another very common thing that I see is a shitload of trauma, okay? Listen, I have a lot of trauma in my life. That's also why I went on a spiritual awakening journey many years ago, to be able to fix these things and work on fixing these things, and I do it on a daily basis. However, ladies, specifically if you have it and you're not working on it, it's like a red flag that anyone who's slightly aware can see, okay? If you don't even know you're fucked up, go ask someone who's aware, like your enlightened friend, and ask them their opinion, okay? Or find yourself a Facebook group and ask some enlightened people or someone who's studied psychology, and then understand your traumas and then fix them. Because dudes like me who can see right through it and understand it, we can fix you. However, we don't want to fix you because our time is allocated elsewhere, right? And if it gets to the point that the relationship is serious, it's because an individual like me accepts it, okay? But you don't want to bring your traumas into new relationships. It's not a good look. And you're not, ladies specifically, you're not going to reel in wealthy, well-to-do, high-performing men into your life that way, especially if that's what you're looking for, okay? All right, guys, let's talk about in-person stuff, all right? We just talked about apps, just talked about some things that I notice specifically from dating, okay? Now let's talk about in-person. So this is the type of guy that I am, and this is what I enjoy doing, all right? And I've met some really great people in life, not only on the dating scene, but also just in life by just walking up to them and saying hello to them, all right? So I'll use an example. I'll use an example for all of my fitness-minded people. Okay, check this out. All right, recently I was at the gym working out, and I was getting looked at by a female, very attractive, very nice body, beautiful, and she constantly was making eye contact with me, constantly. The first time I ever saw her. So I smiled. However, I had to be in and out of the gym that day, so I did not walk up to her. And over the course of the next week, um, she continued to make eye contact with me to the point that she put herself right next to me one day, working out right next to me while smiling at me. So this is what I did. Now, understand, gentlemen, specifically, okay? And ladies, understand the perspective for the females here. Understand this. If you're getting direct eye contact from a female and you're smiling and they're smiling and you're waving or sticking tongues out at each other and kind of flirting, the women are giving you an opening to come up and talk to them, okay? Gentlemen, when a chick is working out, all right, and her hat is low and she's not making eye contact with you, okay, she doesn't want to fucking talk to you. Don't walk up to her. Don't interrupt her. Don't be rude, okay? They're trying to work out. And vice versa. Ladies, like, if I'm working out, like, I'm not I'm not the type of dude who's just going to smile and talk to you because you want to talk to me, all right? I'm going to keep working out and I'm not going to talk to you. So save your ego the trouble both ways here, and don't interrupt someone, all right? You will know if they want to speak to you. So this is what I did, okay? This is what I did. I was actually going to get a paper towel to wipe off my machine, and she basically cornered me. I took my headphones off, and I looked her dead in the eyes, and I said, "What's your name?" That's it. Not hi, not how are you. What's your name? She says her name. I don't tell her my name. And I say, "How are you doing today?" And we start talking, so on and so forth. And that, gentlemen, is how it's done. Okay? And if you have the confidence to do that, it's a great way to meet people. I gave her about 5 minutes of my time. And right before I decided that I was done with the conversation, I said, "Well, so and so, it was nice to meet you. Would you like to get together sometime?" And she said, "Absolutely. Why don't you take my number?" And I said, "Cool." So I took her number and I texted her my number so she had it. And I told her that I would call her to set something up. Okay? Gentlemen, that's how you get a number in person. One, you get the opening. Two, you ask them their name, you get them to talk about themselves. And then, if you like the interaction, if you're super ballsy, okay, you set the date right there on the spot. The only reason why I didn't do that is because I have a handwritten schedule, and if I don't have my handwritten schedule in front of me, I don't know when I'm available. Honest. However, I've set dates on the spot before because I have my schedule in the vicinity. Now, you take the number, you don't call them the next day. I know, I've heard both sides of things, I get it. However, if you're a busy individual, you give it some time. And so I did. And that is how you do it. And gentlemen, if you get a number from someone, whether it's on an app or in person or so on and so forth, if you're calling them that day or the next day, you have to understand that every single guy is doing that. If you want to create some mystery, if you want to create some, maybe some intriguedness, like having the other person be intrigued, well, does he want to talk to me? Wait a couple days. Wait a few days. Then contact them. I understand how it can be seen as playing games. However, when it comes to creating the partner that you want for your life, okay, you got to keep them on their toes in the beginning and throughout the entire relationship. I'm not going to get into how to be in a relationship in this episode, but we're going to talk about how to create attraction and more so. But guys, don't be walking up to women that aren't giving you the opening because they're not attracted to you and you're being rude and disrespectful and they're not going to say yes to you anyways. And most women are too kind to be like, fuck off and get out of here. All right. So walking up in person is now back open for me since Connecticut is open and people don't have masks on and there's people at restaurants and bars and so on and so forth. And that is what I prefer. And that's how a confident masculine male does things. We are confident, we are masculine, and we will take what we want. If we're told no, we're told no. But if we see something we like, we go and get it. And gentlemen, if you do not have that confidence, the best way to practice it is just practice. What's the worst that can happen? You get told no? Great. You try it again. Told no? Great. You try it again. You're told yes? Hey, it worked. And just get better at it. That's it. A wise man once told me that opportunity and women are like buses. There's another one coming every 15 minutes. The same can be said about males. Opportunity and males are like buses. There's another one coming every 15 minutes. Okay, so now let's discuss perspective from me to other males. Gentlemen, listen up, okay? I'm going to tell you a few things, all right? Let me tell you a few things that you really need to understand, okay? Be a man, not a boy. Be a man, all right? I'm not talking about hashtag alpha male, okay? I'm talking about being a man, okay? Put on some decent clothes. Look like you actually take care of yourself and care about your presence. Not only when you go out on a date, just in general, but when you go out on a date, fucking look sharp, okay? Listen, when I show up with a button down, a jacket on, some chinos, and some loafers, that's my style. I look sharp. If you're in fucking sweatpants and sneakers, you look like shit, all right? First things first, unless you're going in and out of the gym, honestly, you shouldn't be in workout clothes. Take care of yourself. Take care of what you look like. Look like you actually care about yourself. You'll attract better people. And you know what? While you're at it, hold the damn door. You go out on a date, hold the door, the car door, the restaurant door. Pull the chair out for the women. Be a man. Be a gentleman. Treat people with respect. You treat yourself with respect by dressing up, taking care of your image. You treat other people with respect, and you actually be a gentleman. Take pride in your appearance. Take pride in your actions. Take pride in what you do, all right? And guys, don't be fucking needy, okay? You are the man. You set the date. You tell them after you discuss when the date's going to be. Okay, I'm available on Friday night at 7 p.m. Great. We're going to go to Bar New Haven. I'll meet you there at 7 p.m. I'll have reservations under my name. If you show up there first, grab the table. If I do, I'll grab the table. Don't be needy. Well, okay, you're available at 7 on Friday. What kind of food do you want? Where do you want to eat? Where do you want to go? I'm just a needy little bitch, and can you hold my hand or my man bun because I don't know anything and I'm just needy. Yeah. No, guys, fuck that shit. Be a man, understand masculine energy, be a gentleman, take care of the females. As a male, we are leaders. You lead, okay? I'll meet you here. You know what? Better yet, what's your address? I'll come pick you up. I'm a gentleman. I'm going to hold the door for you. I'll be at your house at 7 o'clock. I'm going to hold the door for you. Then we're going to go out on a date. Well, where are we going? That's for me to know and you to find out. And you lead them on the date. And you act like a gentleman. You be a man and you don't be needy. Gentlemen, pay attention, okay? The more and more and more this society keeps going the way it is, the more and more of this bullshit that I'm talking about is happening. And that is why women are honestly sick and tired of males, because men have become the females. Gentlemen, be gentlemen. If you don't understand masculine energy, Google it. Shit, reach out to me. I'm happy to teach it to you. Okay, now ladies, I have some perspective for you. All right? Let's clear up a couple of things. You're going to find, generally speaking, 3 different types of males, okay? You're going to have your I'm going nowhere in life, I live in my mother's basement, okay? I don't do shit, I'm on unemployment, and I could be at your beck and call. Maybe they're a bad boy, okay? You have your I'm fucking going nowhere in life type male. All right, that's option number 1. Understand that there's going to be about 3 different types of males. Option number 1. Listen, if that's what you're into, that's what you're into. Number 2, your normal, everyday, 9-to-5er dude. Doesn't really do much. He works maybe 40 hours a week. Maybe he enjoys playing video games and softball or some normal shit. All right, as you guys can tell, that is not me, and I struggle to be able to relate to that. However, that individual, probably has a job, probably is financially sufficient, to say the least, and would probably have a lot of time for you and could potentially be very needy because they have a lot of time. All right, if that's what you're looking for, like a stable guy, like awesome. Just understand that working 40 hours a week is like an appetizer for high performers. Some of us work 40 hours by Tuesday morning or Tuesday afternoon or Tuesday, depending on how you look at things. All right. So far you have your I'm going nowhere in life, the normal, like average dude, and then you're going to have the other male, okay? The other male. The male that is living with purpose, okay? Who's on a mission to do something with their life, who has things to do, who probably has an awesome life or is trying to create a fantastic life. Okay? We are busy. We have shit going on. However, we take care of ourselves, and you, the female, okay, are there to complement our life. And we will make time for you. Okay? That type of male is likely masculine. We are a bit far and few between. However, we are out there. A masculine male who's purpose-driven, full of masculine energy, has a lot of shit going on, however, will make time for you. All right? That type of individual is not going to be up your ass, okay? We have other shit going on. You are there to complement our life. And ladies, you have to realize, like, what do you want? Do you want the fucking slug that lives in a basement? Do you want the normal dude who's going to have all the time for you? Or do you want a high-performing, high-earning, masculine, purposeful male that fucking handles business? What do you want? Because you're not going to get the blends. It's one or the other, in this case, the third. Okay? Ladies, understand that, all right? If you want a wealthy, high-performing, high-earning, successful male in your life, you're going to have to deal with that male, all right? And you're going to have to complement their life, because that type of male has a lot of options when it comes to females. A lot of options. And if we have a lot of options, you're going to have to make yourself separate yourself from the rest of the females that are just throwing themselves at us, okay? That shit's simple. But when you understand us and you take the time to understand us, all right, and you realize that we're not needy and you realize that we have options, you will complement our life. Before we close off this episode that I hope is very educational for everybody, I want to give you guys some perspective on why I'm single, okay? I've never been married. I'm 36 years old, and the reason why I'm single is this. My life is fucking amazing. My life's fantastic. I get to work with, in my companies, whether they work for me or I work with them as clients and customers, some of the best people I know, if not the best people I know. I get to wake up every day and work with fantastic people and educate a fantastic audience and create content to help educate people and teach people and live a life of purpose. To wake up every morning and know that you're making a difference and changing people's lives, all right, really hits home. Really hits home. And no average chick gets thrown at me on a daily basis is going to be a part of my life. I'm single because I haven't found anyone to complement my life. I have a fantastic life. Absolutely fantastic. And if someone's going to be in my life, complementing it is the key. All right? And when you have lots of options, okay, the key is to separate yourself from the rest. And guys, specifically, if you want to separate yourself from any other guy, learn your why. Learn why you're here. Ladies, you want to separate yourself? Learn your why. Learn why you're here. Live a life of purpose. Okay? Create a fantastic life. And eventually, you'll manifest and or attract the proper person into your life. Just because society says you should be married in your 20s and have a house with a white picket fence doesn't mean that's right for everybody. All right? At my age, a lot of people I know are getting divorced now. I never made that mistake. However, I've learned my lessons. And being single is powerful. There's nothing wrong with being single. It's quite powerful. It's quite empowering. I love being alone, and so should you. Honestly, if you could harness being alone, you could be a very powerful individual. And I hope I was able to give some perspective on dating in 2021 in this show, guys. We talked about a lot of awesome things, and just to recap it, healing is important. Heal in between relationships. Dating apps are certainly odd. Walking up to people in person, understanding the openings is key. And my perspective for males, gentlemen, be a leader, understand masculine energy. Women, all right, understand that there's several different types of males, and understanding which one you want is key. And something I didn't say was understand feminine energy. Feminine energy is beautiful, sexy, attractive thing. And then I discussed why I'm single. And that is dating in 2021. All right, guys, that was the show on dating in 2021, and I hope I was able to teach you some perspective. Now, I want to tell you about an opportunity that I have to offer you, okay? Check this out. My consulting company and mentoring company, Warrior Consulting, all right, we've put together a mastermind. And this mastermind meets on a weekly basis, taught by me live on Zoom in a group setting of like-minded people, okay? It starts on June 7th, and it's going to run weekly, every single week, every single year to come. And we're going to talk about how to kick ass in life, how to become successful or more successful, how to become healthy, wealthy, prosperous, abundant, rich, whatever you want to call it, kick fucking ass in life. And the greatest part is we're building the community. And if you want to be around like-minded people and learn from me, if you want to reserve your spot, click the link in the show notes. And when you do, that will show us that you're ready, and we will reach out to you and get you set up. This investment level is less than your gym membership on a monthly basis. I cannot wait to teach this, and I hope to see you guys there. Outside of that, I will talk to you next week, and I hope you're kicking ass. Peace.